Hi everyone, we have very special guests here, Dave and Cristyn. So good to see you guys and to speak to you. It is 6 o'clock p.m. here in England and it is 9 o'clock p.m. in Kenya. So Dave and Cristyn, just recap what's been going on, who you are, what you're doing, where you're doing it, what's been going on. Just recap for us.
Yeah, hi everyone, and it's lovely to speak to you, Lambton Church. I'm Cristyn Wakefield. This is Dave. You probably know my sister Beth and my parents Jenny and Howard, and we are your mission partners. We're very thankful for the support that you give us here in Kenya. You pray for us, and you also support us financially, and we're really grateful for that. We are currently zooming you from Kijabi, Kenya, which is about an hour north of Nairobi in the Rift Valley. We're working at Moffat Bible College, training students for pastoral ministry. And last time we spoke to you, and we did a video like this, I think we were phoning from language school, and we were there for 3 months. We are now in our permanent home here in Kijabi, where we've been since November. We started our jobs in January. We have 2 children, and you may remember them for the last video, Stevie and Caleb. Because it's 9 p.m, they are in bed, but they are still with us. They're upstairs. Yep.
Brilliant. And how are the jobs going now you're in Moffat and settled there?
No, we've almost got to the end of our first term of working at Moffat, so I have two more lessons to give, and then that is me done for the term, other than invigilating an exam slightly later on. The teaching is going really well. It's been a delight to get to know so many of the students, and my role, I'm also in charge of all the administration for the college, so I'm discovering fun things like what to do when there's a drought, or what to do when there's a baboon in one of the classrooms, how to get them out. So all these vital life skills that you pick up. Cristyn's been helping to write a strategic plan for the next 10 years. And so she's been trying to put some order to the sort of the chaos of academia and get academics to think about something other than sort of inscriptions in Latin. So I don't envy her task.
And how are the kids doing?
They're great. They're doing really well. They're enjoying life here. I think it was one of our big prayers last time was friends for the kids, because where we were at language school, there were just no other children really their age, and they were occupying themselves. But here in Kijabi, there's loads of children. I think they have the busiest social calendar, with different play groups and preschool groups. So yeah, they're really well, and they're loving just wandering around, hitting things with sticks, and there's a very outside life here. Because we've so far been in the dry season. It's about to be the rainy season, so we'll see how they fare. But so far, so good. They're enjoying it.
Brilliant. You mentioned social life there. Give us a taste of life outside of college. Is there such a thing? And if so, what do you get up to?
There is. We've got a real mix. There's some other missionaries around, so we'll try and sort of chat to some of them, and there's form communities there. We're trying really hard to get to know some of the locals in Kijabi. So we've got a few friends that we're sort of developing there and having them round. The kids have a trampoline, which is a massive attraction to pretty much anyone under the age of 21. So that's quite a useful invite. More than that, I guess we've been trying to get stuck in at our local church. There's only one real church in Kijabi, so we don't have much in the way of choice. But I've been attending a 6:30 till 8:30 men's breakfast every Saturday, with sort of 80 to 100 other guys, which has been a real encouragement to me, seeing lots of people from the local area being reached for the gospel.
In Swahili, so it's useful for his language acquisition.
How is the language? You mentioned language school. How are you doing with the language?
Nina Juribu, which means I'm trying.
I pretend I go every week now for an extra lesson just to try and keep it up, because it is easy to. Everyone here speaks English and Swahili and their mother tribal tongue, so you can get away without it. But we're trying, and we've noticed that people really respond when you try and speak in Swahili. Yeah. And so, as part of forming relationships, it's really important to keep going with it, even though we're not in time language school anymore.
Yeah. And I know it's often a question asked these days of missionaries, but why are you there rather than doing what you're doing, rather than Kenyans doing what you're doing?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and we asked the same of the principal when we were first considering Moffat. Partly it's just availability. So academics here is a developing field, but there's not many people with the level of qualification required to teach a Bible school or seminary. And so they need outside help. Partly it's like really practical finances. The college scrapes by. And because you are supporting us, then the college doesn't need to pay for us, apart from housing us and whatever. And if the college were to try and employ more national staff, they would have to raise the fees for students, and that's one of the biggest challenges for the students, is that they can't afford their fees. So it's just a really practical economic reason for it. From our perspective as well, we think this is a strategic position for us and for the global church, because we're trying to speak into the Kenyan church and say, let's be more mission-minded. Let's try and send more Africans to the world rather than just receiving missionaries. So we're trying to kind of do ourselves out of a job and say, you should be the missionaries. You should be running the Bible colleges. We're here to help you reach that position.
Gotcha. Thank you. So just give us a few things that we can be praying for you.
Sure. I think a couple of them are just things that take time, but do be praying that we would settle well into the church. We were at our church in London for 16 years, so you can't replace that overnight. And I think also be praying for friendships. Again, those take time, but just sort of Kajabi, people come, people go. And so you can be getting to know someone and then discovering, oh, you're heading back to the UK for good in 4 months. I thought we were going to be friends. So yeah, I think pray for that. I think also just sort of right now, pray for the students at Moffat. So as Cristyn said, like finances is always an issue. It's always sort of the cloud over their sort of lives is sort of, will I have enough money to pay for the next term's fees? And so every sort of like holiday, they go back home and try and scrape and save the money together to go back to Moffat at the end of the holiday. So be praying for them, be praying that they'll be able to trust in God. And with exams coming up, I think the temptation is always at a college, like it's the end of term, everyone just put your heads down and just keep going, plod through. So just pray that we can lift our eyes and focus on Jesus rather than just on the mundane and the day-to-day.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Well, be assured of our prayers and the support, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon. We are planning to do a live stream of you guys into our service some point in the summer, and it'll be great to catch up with you live as a congregation then. But thanks ever so much for your time, and God bless you.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.